Hello, and welcome to Other Metagames Premier League Week 2 Balanced Hackmons. This game is on the top side, Jasprose of the Temper Tyrantrums, who won his game last week against Sugar High in a fairly grueling series. Fairly grueling game. And on the bottom side is Anna Says Hi, playing on the alt Heads I Lose, Tails You Win of the 5-star Jolteons. Both these players seem they're bringing fairly bulky teams, though as you can see, Anna's team is a fair bit more bulky and slower than is Jasprose's team. So let's look at team preview here. So Jasprose is running both the very threatening Mega Kangaskhan, which can easily take off 75% health from any Pokemon using Nature's Madness, and then finish it off with Extreme Speed or Nightshade if it's slower. And threatening also Shedinja. Shedinja seems to be like a very threatening Pokemon for Anna Says Hi to deal with, thanks to the fact that she only has an Aegislash, so it can easily get Stealth Rock set up against her, and if it's running that. And T-Tar looks like a big threat as well. T-Tar looks like it could perhaps keep it under control using Sandstream, if it's running Sandstream. Now she has Anna Says Hi has a Xerneas, which can easily sweep through Jasprose's team depending on the moves it's running. For example, if it's running Moonblast plus Earth Power, and then if it can set up spikes, then her team, her Xerneas will easily sweep through Jasprose's team. Whereas if it's running, say, Lava Plume, it will be able to sweep if Aegislash is not Flash Fire. Now, both Earth Power and Lava Plume are quite feasible since Ho-Oh is on her team and it can improve those. Interestingly enough, Jasprose is not running Chansey on his team, which means that he will have a hard time scouting for his Shedinja. His Magic Bounce user is probably Yveltal, though it could be Zygarde C. Zygarde C could simply be a Prankster user just to check the very threatening Mewtwo X and Y. Say, Shell Smash plus Power Trip Mewtwo X would 6-0 this team without a Prankster Zygarde. Or something like that. The Yveltal could be Prankster as well. Aegislash might be Prankster too, actually. So that gives Zygarde some extra room. It might be Poison Heal or something like that. Now, Gengar is a wild card, and as you know, Gengar is very threatening no matter what set it runs. Could be, Adaptability, Shell Smash, Electrify, whatever. And Anna's Celesteela is almost certainly Regen Vest, simply because she needs a reliable Specs Mega Ray switch-in. It also can sort of take on Triage not very well, though, because of plus 3 Volt Switch and plus 3 Secret Sword, which simply kills. I don't actually know exactly how she deals with Triage Oblivion Wing Ray, unless she was running Scarf Imposter Chansey, which she very well may be. Luckily for her, Jasprose is not running it. Let's get on with the game. So, I'm going to slow the game down, and you'll see here so they're getting the Kangaskhan. So T-Tar immediately goes for the Phytinium Z, probably premature, could have bluffed that for a long time, but she knew that Kangaskhan was quite threatening to her team, so she wanted to try and get rid of that, I think. Ho-Oh gets Volt switched on by the Zygarde. And we see that Anna says hides Ho-Oh as Magic Guard. So here's Aegislash. Aegislash gets foddered off to a Nightshade, 25% health. So Celesteela takes a Nature's Madness to the face, eating 74%. Celesteela's tail glows up. Ooh, that's interesting. This could be Triage. And this Celesteela Oblivion Wings the Kangaskhan for 61%. Kangaskhan Seismic tosses for 50%. And Celesteela does manage to survive, barely. So here's Aegislash in on Celesteela, as Celesteela goes for the obligatory Oblivion Wing, 30% to Aegislash. And Aegislash hazes while Celesteela gets Spike set up. Good play for Anna there. Xerneas is in on the U-turn from Aegislash to get a free poisoning from Toxic Orb. Gengar's in, it's Mold Breaker to own those sheds. Xerneas knocks off the Spooky Plate from Gengar. That's not a commonly seen move. While Gengar gets Stealth Rock up. And Xerneas gets Sludge Bombed on, taking 60. Gengar dies. Jasprose should have known that that doesn't kill. So here's Yveltal on the Zern. Zern knocks off his Assault Vest in exchange for Rapid Spinning the Spikes. And Ho-Oh is in on Yveltal's U-turn. Jasprose brings in Kangaskhan. Ho-Oh recovers. Kangaskhan recovers. Ho-Oh defogs the Stealth Rock, so both hazards are gone. Ho-Oh is Seismic Toss for 50%. Heal Order again. Chansey imposters the Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan chops off 75% of Chansey's health right there. So that was a nice turn for Jasprose. I don't know why Anna did that. That was... guess he's trying to PP stall that Kangaskhan out of some hits. But Chansey recovers the HP. And Kangaskhan only does 28 with his Seismic Toss. Shed is in. Chansey recovers again, getting all his health back. And Shed endeavors to Celesteela because she really doesn't have anything to switch into that, so she has to get out of the way. Celesteela is at 0 now, is at 7 now, so that was kind of sad. Shed Extreme Speed Xerneas for 7. Xerneas knocks off the Zygarde's leftovers as it switches in. Gets some Poison Heal recovery back. This is fine. Chansey is in on Zygarde. Risky. We saw it was Volt Switch before, so if it wanted to trap, it was a trapping set. And now it Volt Switches safely as Xerneas comes back in, as Anna realizes that it is indeed a trapping set. Here's Kangaskhan. And Xerneas takes 44 from Seismic Toss and Force Palms the Kangaskhan, gets a critical hit and a para. That's very, very unlikely. 30% chance to para, so even the para was unlikely. That was crazy. Everyone's going crazy. So Tyranitar pursues the Kanga for 33% and gets Zygarde in. Ho-Oh avoids being trapped because it's a flying type. Fine. So Xerneas is back in. Volt Switch on the Xerneas for a little bit. Kangaskhan is back in. He's going to try and make the most of this paralyzed Kanga. He recovers. That's a good play. Zygarde is back in on the T-Tar. This could be a slow game. And T-Tar close combats the Zygarde for a minimal amount of damage, 20% or so. And Xerneas is back in. So here's Kanga. This is the same sequence again. And he Moonblasts the Kanga for 35. And Kanga Seismic tosses Xerneas for 44%. So that's a solid bit of damage. And now the Kanga doesn't get to recover. Tyranitar pursues the Kanga for 33%. So now this is just a matter of waiting for something to shake the game up. So Volt Switch on the Ho-Oh for 16%. T-Tar is back in. As the Kanga does get the recover off, she was hoping for a full para, but didn't get it. T-Tar close combats into the Zygarde again. That's a pretty obligatory play. Ho-Oh is in. Volt Switch on the Ho-Oh. Pretty predictable here. Ho-Oh heals up. Kanga paralyzed. Good turn for Anna. T-Tar is in. T-Tar Seismic Toss 48% from Kanga. Ouch. And he does get the pursuit off. 39% pursuit. Good. Zygarde is in. Ho-Oh again. Zygarde heals itself up. This is pretty boring here. I'm gonna speed it up until something happens. Para. And he close combats the Kanga and kills it. Chansey is in on Shed. Shed U-turns out of Chansey taking 10% from him. And he gets the Yveltal in for free. If this is Pursuit, it's huge. But it's only U-turn. If it was Pursuit there, Chansey could have taken a huge chunk. Chansey U-turns out of Shed. This is Celesteela getting some recovery. Yveltal is in. Celesteela gets a spike set up. Won't stay up for long because Yveltal can just spin it away. So Chansey transforms into Yveltal here as Yveltal spins the spike. Shed eats the U-turn easily. Anna is looking like she doesn't really have much of anything to hit Shedinja with, so this game could take a while. I think that she's going to try and break the rest of the team and then just isolate Shedinja and then maybe get Spike set up. But Zygarde unfortunately bounces back this Spike, so Celesteela is going to have to lost a turn there. Oblivion Wings to Zygarde for a little bit. Volt Switch 27%, so didn't get much out of that one. So here's Zygarde again. Ho-Oh defogs the Zygarde on the Zygarde while Zygarde just clicks a useless move. I don't know why he did that. That only has 16 PP. It's better to waste some other PP. Ho-Oh Volt switches out. He could have just Volt switched out before. So here's Yveltal. Yveltal's going to U-turn out on the Ho-Oh. 4%. We're just going to go fast now. So Xerneas is in. Ho-Oh doesn't want to get trapped by the Zygarde, which we know is Magic Bounce now. It probably can boost up and kill the Zygarde if it tried to stay in and push the issue, but doesn't want to risk it because Entrainment will still take off a lot of HP because he has to get +2 to KO Zygarde, or maybe +3, depending on the amount of special, depending on this plus SPD or plus Def, I think. It does like 90% of +2, so. So Chansey is in, Yveltal out. Shed in on Zern. Shed knocks off Xerneas' protective pads. That's good, but Anna doesn't have any Rocky helmet or anything to take advantage of that. So this is just their PP stalling and trying to maybe get some sort of luck. And Chansey takes a huge endeavor, but he'll get regeneration back from Yveltal's regenerator. If Shedinja was running Pursuit, that Chansey would be gone. Xerneas Magma Storms a shed, but... Or Cell Steel and Magma Storms a shed, but he knows better. He U-turns out, so that doesn't really work. So, surprise revealed. If Anna had done the Magma Storm on the switch, that shed would be gone. So yeah, if you only have Magma Storm Cell Steel, like Magma Storm Spike Cell Steel as your shed answer, you're gonna have a hard time. Because like any bouncer can basically beat you, except like, well, Magic Bounce Magirna doesn't like taking that Magma Storm, especially at +3. So like that's one of the better teammates with Shed. The thing about Jasprose's team is that he doesn't have as good longevity because he doesn't have his Chansey, so he's got to keep on using PP when Anna can just switch into the Chansey and have free PP. Xerneas takes a huge endeavor, 90%. I don't know why. Shed U-turns out of Chansey 9%, and Yveltal is this, so they're just U-turning around. This is pretty, so this is fine. 1,000 waves into an, like, they're just using PP now. Ooh, Cell Stealer tried to Tail Glow and Zygarde Spectral Thiefed it away. So actually that means that Zygarde would win against the Xerneas if it... that was rough, but he didn't take advantage of the +3 to Volt Switch out, which I don't understand. Xerneas is pretty much out of action until it can get some Poison Heal recovery back. Which, but there it is. Takes another endeavor, no problem. So now they're just trying to stall the shit out of endeavors because that's all they can really do. There's Aegis Slash. Briefly. We remember it's Prankster. Xerneas gets some Poison Heal back. That's good. This Shed can't actually can't actually punish Chansey. Like if it was running like that's why I really like Pursuit Shed or Pain Split Shed, because you can really punish Chansey hard, or you can punish whatever switches in hard. So you can basically make Shed really, you don't want Imposter on the Shed, but then you lose like something like Stealth Rock or something like that. So they're just switching around, hoping to get some sort of advantageous position for themselves. And it's not looking like they are. Zygarde eats an Oblivion Ring for 19%, but it's not like nothing big. Xerneas is already back at full health, so So apparently that Xerneas is running knockoff plus purify, which is pretty interesting. And you can like improve that with like I guess Celesteela. I guess that's the improve. Because you don't want to improve it with Tar, even though Tar has a Z move. I don't know if I like that or not. Oh wait, no, it's Ho-Oh. It's Ho-Oh. That's right. I mean, you knock off the Toxic Orb and you purify it, and then it's not poisoned anymore. I don't know. That's kind of iffy. Ouch! 49% Revelation Dance. Doesn't matter though, because you'll just get the poison heal back after a few turns. That Xerneas can't be killed, pretty much. So we're at turn 143, and the situation looks pretty much the same as it did like 100 turns ago. So he gets spikes, but bounces the spikes back. If he does that too many times, he won't be able to get those spikes off of there. Forces Ho-Oh into a recover with a Spectral Thief. This is his, he's just PP stalling away. The chat's more interesting than the game again, but this is unfortunately how BH often goes. And this is pretty boring. So wow, 15%. And Celesteela tries to break the shed coming in, Magma Storm, but it only gets a Zygarde. Nothing too big. And Celesteela gets Spectral Thief by that Zygarde, forcing it to recover, but that's not too big of a problem. Without Life Orb, this Celesteela is pitifully weak. 17% to Zygarde at plus 0? That's pretty bad. And Celesteela takes a huge 63% Volt Switch, but plus 3, but gets a Tail Glow boost up, so... getting some recovery for Celesteela with leftovers. This is... Anna is playing very well, patiently waiting for Jasprose to do something wrong, so that's what you're supposed to do here. 171 turns in and nothing has changed. Again, Anna lets Spikes get onto her side of the field. I don't know, like, switching that Zygarde in is like pretty much risk-free. There's no reason not to do it, so there's no reason to click Spikes. But, of course, get it off with the Ho-Ohs, and the Ho-Ohs got plenty of defogs left. So this is why you improve your walls, because, and this is also why Regenerator is pretty annoying to deal with. Like, if you're an imposter user, Regenerator is like your best friend because you can just come in, don't worry about being shipped down by other mons, you get 32% health back. Which is why I'm not a big fan of, which is why people are beginning to frown on Regenerator Pokemon. So they're using like trapping walls instead, and that's when you begin seeing Shed Shell Imposter. So as you can see, the metagame kind of develops. Metagame trends develop. People are running Shed Shell Imposter more and more these days because trapping walls are so common. This is the same sequence you've seen before, where Telesila tries to boost up and Zygarde steals the boost. I guess she's trying to run it out of PP, which actually might happen. And Telesila does get a spike up event finally, but it won't stay up for long because, ooh, 87%. Ooh, that's big. And Yveltal won't get to spin here. If Yveltal dies, that means the spinner is gone. Now things are beginning to happen. That shed cannot come in. And Tyranitar pursues the Aegislash, killing it. After Aegislash does defog the spike, but it costed his life. So Jasprose is suddenly down 2 Mons, which is pretty big. Celesteela takes a huge endeavor. Ouch. And Chansey gets U-turn. Will get U-turned on. Ooh, nah, extreme speed. Getting desperate. Getting desperate. But of course, Celesteela can just regenerate with his leftovers. So this isn't a huge problem, really. But now he's down to... let's take stock. If I can pause this replay, but it's like lagging because there's so much... gonna take stock. Yeah. Jasprose is in a very bad position because he cannot put any more offensive pressure on Anna's team, so she just has to wait for the PP to run out on the Zygarde and the Shed, and then it's gone. So I'm just going to speed it up because literally nothing happens besides Shed being run out of PP and dying, and Zygarde running out of PP and dying. Celesteela faints, but that's not a huge problem because, I mean, it wasn't going to sleep anyway. It's not like it was a huge important thing. So there it goes. There's T-Tar. T-Tar pursues the Zygarde for 10%, and then Zygarde just heals it up. Does get the 1,000 waves on the Xerneas. But he knows that it's no good. This is just a farce now, so I'm just going to put it on hyper fast and watch, let it finish up. Eventually this Zygarde's going to run out of PP. Xerneas is just finishing it around. The Zygarde is paralyzed, which is interesting. Ho-Oh is managing to force it to softball because of those paras, when it would have volt switched otherwise. But he could just he finally gets the volt switch off. So this is again just PP stall away. So this is pretty boring to watch. Just U-turning away. Eventually this U-turn PP is going to run out. So PP running out, all this Shed is like using PP like crazy. So let's hope this game finishes up fast. I have the game on the fastest speed it can go. There goes the Zygarde. Zygarde's gone. So now this is just a matter of running the Shed out of PP. Jasprose wants to play till the very bitter end just to show the spectators, I think. Most players would have forfeited by around turn... after the Yveltal and Aegislash died. So now just running out of PP. We're just going to skip through some turns. Well, I mean, it's not like you missed anything. The game is pretty much over. So lessons from this game is that stall, you can break through stall, like with like it will take a while, but you can break through stall if you play patiently, because as you saw, like critical hits will come, like eventually, hopefully, like. But I mean, the thing is, I think that Anna's team was very weak to Shed, as you can see. Like, she never really managed to get rid of Shed. If she had, things would have been a good deal easier. So I think that prepping, like, you need to prep your tournament teams for Shed, unless you agree to no Shed beforehand. And the other thing is that Xerneas can run a lot of different coverage moves. So you saw this weird Moonblast knockoff, Purify, Force Palm set. And I don't really know about the efficacy of Force Palm, but at least Force Palm plus knockoff will take out like every single steel, will at least pressure every single steel type that we have. Celesteela doesn't really mind it too much, but Registeel and Heatran and even Aegislash, they don't want to really take a Force Palm or a knockoff. So that was an interesting lure set. If he hadn't gotten that 30% paralysis immediately, it could have been a little bit different with the Kanga. Kanga was a huge threat. Anna, I don't think, played very well around the Kanga either. So there's that. Like, using the Titanium Z immediately. Like, there's some times when you want to use your surprise move immediately, and there's other time when you don't. And I think that she should have known that a switch was going to happen that would prevent the Titanium Z from working, because like a lot of T-Tar, like you need to at least like entertain the possibility that T-Tar could have been Shell Smash, and Shell Smash Tar would have actually been very useful here. Once you got rid of the Zygarde, if you ever could get rid of the, like once you get rid of the Zygarde with the Xerneas, you can sweep through the rest of the team with Shell Smash, Power Trip, Sunsteel, and Close Combat, maybe. Well, you have to get rid of the Aegislash also, but like, you can get rid of those. You can sweep through the team, and that would have been a lot more useful than what Anna did bring, some weird Titanium Z. I don't know exactly what Titanium Z is supposed to hit. Maybe an arbitrary steel type, but they don't really want to take knockoff. So, I don't know. I don't think... But it doesn't really matter anyway, because she did manage to win in the end with her, thanks to her Tail Glow, Oblivion Wing, Magma Storm, Spike, Celesteela, and a lucky critical hit at the right time. I don't think that Jasprose really did anything wrong. I think he probably... I don't remember how the Gengar died, actually. How did the Gengar die? But the Gengar couldn't really break through her team because, Oh! The Gengar died when the Xerneas knocked it off twice. Which you couldn't really plan for. So, there's that. So, Anna's team matchup was pretty solid, even if she couldn't kill the Shed, because she had a very bulky team that could just heal off any damage that Shed tried to do. And Chansey, of course, prevents, can easily U-turn around on that Shed. So really, Jasprose's problems stemmed from faulty team building. If he had gotten, like, he didn't really get, he had a very, very frail Stealth Rock setter, which doesn't have any recovery and died pretty quick. But if he managed to get Stealth Rock up, he could have made a better fight of it. Like, if he kept Stealth Rock up, he could have made a better fight of it. But that's that for this long, grueling game, and this is the end of week 2, so next video we'll be getting into the 3rd week of OMPL. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/SuperSkylake. So that is that.